welcome back to our channel. This is Shivari. How have you guys been doing? Hope you guys are alright and safe, and oof, man, things are just wow on several different fronts. Oh my god. So instead of focusing on that kind of stuff, because honestly it makes me anxious even higher, I'm gonna try talking about something fun. Our topic today will be Jinx. You guys know who Jinx is, right? You know, that thin waif of a girl who goes about causing mayhem and destruction while looking cool doing it. That girl, you know? Be clear, she's from Teen Titans, not the other Jinx. To start off with, for those of you who somehow might not know, Jinx is a High Five member in the Teen Titans. She does originally appear in the comics, and she is black, canonically black. She is a black person. In the comics, she was actually rich in melanin and wore a different color palette. Well, I should say had a different color palette. Her outfit was completely different too. Instead of being black and like dark blues or type of purple, she wore white and gold. She also apparently was barefoot in order to keep hold of a connection with Earth, because if she did not, then she could die, because it was her magical powers and connection with Mother Earth that helped to stave off her illnesses such as cancer, to which she was also bald. So, you know, I mean, she looked nice. For whatever reason, they decided to ixnay all of that interesting stuff. Gave her very fun pink hair that just defies gravity and logic with the way it's formed. Just look at this hair. Look at this hair. How does she get her hair like this easily? What does she do? Does she use her magic? In the context of the show, of the original Titan show animation, her powers only beget destruction, so being able to use it on her hair wouldn't make much sense. The comic version probably could have, though. And of course, as we can see from her outfit, she doesn't actually need to be barefoot with those platform boots that she wears, you know. Back to her hair though. Oh my god, you guys, I actually cosplayed as her before, and it took way too long to figure out how to do her hair. Like, I've looked up videos and how-tos. This was years ago. I don't know if there's actually more available now, but I do know that when I was looking it up, could not find it. The best that I could find was different sort of gravity defying hairstyles, and also like looking at what somebody did to form a close enough hairstyle to her hair when they were customizing a doll to look like Jinx. And I gotta tell you this right now, I used a lot of cold hairspray, and I used felt, and I used styrofoam combs, thread and needle, and hot glue. Like, it was a hassle, but I was pretty happy with the end result, not gonna lie. I felt accomplished when I finally got that hair together. It's still kind of fragile, like, though. It has to be touched up every so often just to make sure it kind of holds its form. And it also has a tendency of like making me run into the door frames when I have it on, because the sides of those gravity defying pigtails are so like wide, despite my efforts to make them go, you know, more up. When I try to walk through a door, I have to walk sideways like a freaking crab, because otherwise I bump one or both of them if the door frame's not wide enough. Okay, so moving on from that hair, that tediously designed hair. Christ. So she's a really cool character. I always liked how acrobatic she seemed. Like, she's just doing cartwheels and flips all over the place like she's a freaking gymnast or something, you know. She's also pretty shippable. Like, you know, first there was the whole thing with Cyborg, who was under the alias as Stone. Then later there was the ever beloved Kid Flash in Jinx ship. You know, how many of you guys like that ship a lot? And also, show of hands in the comments of how many of you guys were disappointed when she apparently never shows up in Young Justice, and instead Kid Flash ends up being with a different villainous turned good who goes by the name of Artemis. I mean, Artemis is cool and all, but I was still disappointed at the lack of Jinx in Young Justice back when I was real into that series. There were talks of her being like shippable with like the other goth or punk looking characters in the show, just like aesthetic wise, like say Kid Wicket, because you know they were on the same team, and you know they do have a nice sort of look about them together. Or even, you know, her and Raven, there's been some people who ship those two together, which she doesn't seem to care much for Raven's style though. She'd probably want to do a wardrobe overhaul on Raven's outfits or something, even though technically their style is not all that dissimilar, like both color wise and the way it fits on them. Then there's her other teammate. Like there were, I remember talks, like I don't remember ever noticing it, but apparently it was a thing where what's his face but the eye, Seymour, supposed to have had a crush on Jinx, but you know that never went anywhere. In regards to, you know, her being shipped with other goths and aesthetic wise, I mean there's Blackfire, you know, Starfire's older sister, who just looks like a darker color scheme of herself and more squinty eyed, or I guess narrow eyed. Got a very sharp gaze, that one. She's also very ambitious and perhaps recklessly greedy. Is that the way I would term it? I don't know. Moving on, we're not focusing on Blackfire. This is about Jinx, because we like the pink-haired black girl. Okay, so I actually was interested in seeing like a few other alternative ship ideas that she could be with by way of Beast Boy. It started off with Beast Boy because I like me some Beast Boy. He was adorable from the very beginning to me, ever since I first started watching. And because of this, I came across the fact that a Beast Boy and Jinx ship exists, and I decided to do some fan art. Okay, I'm gonna show fan art in a moment. I've actually done 2 different pieces of fan art with Jinx in it that I'll share with you guys in a moment. But the thing about it though is that it's not like I hardship them or anything. I was just curious about the concept, about the idea of it. I've always been a very strong supporter of Raven and Beast Boy, and I remember feeling so vindicated when I found out that they do actually become a couple in the comics, and even got to the point where they were almost married, I think, or were going to be married. But then I was just like disheartened when I found out that for whatever reason the relationship broke off and they like never got back together, which is just boo. But back to this BB Jinx ship though. I'm just interested in the ideas of how it could work, especially after coming across a couple of fanfics about them. You know, like it was always kind of like a little teeny tiny whisper of a thought in the back of my head ever since Jinx like said, "Here kitty kitty" to Beast Boy, and I swear I know she was like mocking him, but low-key felt like she was also flirting, you know, that sort of antagonistic flirting, I guess, kind of like how Batman and Catwoman have, or you know, just something of similar note like that. Of course it could have meant absolutely nothing, but still the idea was there. It's a little something, just a little tinge, a little pinch of something. I'd say the thing that most interests me about it is that Kid Flash and Beast Boy actually aren't all that different personality wise. Like in the very base traits that they share, they're both nice, friendly, got jokes, love the ladies, very flirtatious, and well-meaning in pretty much almost everything that they do. A lot of times at least in the animation as I remember it in the original Teen Titans. So, you know, the other thing I noticed was that both of these guys who, you know, share some things in common actually share a couple of other things in common with their prospective girlfriends that everybody ships them hard with. Beast Boy with his goth GF Raven, and then there's Kid Flash with his goth GF Jinx. And when I was looking at that, it just had me go, how would it look if Beast Boy swapped out Goth GF Raven for a Goth GF Jinx? Like, maybe he never even got together with Raven. Maybe it just became a whole thing with Jinx instead for whatever reason. And that's why I did fan art. So the first one I'm showing you guys is actually a harem fan art of Jinx with the other aesthetically pleasing or the same sort of style, because I mean, we gotta admit, they all look pretty cool. We got Kid Wicket there in the center because he's the one whose harem it is, because I was feeling Kid Wicket for a minute, you know. We never got much of him, and he seemed pretty cool. And then there's Jinx, you know, little kitty face. And we have Blackfire and Raven and Argent. Guys, don't sleep on Argent. Argent's cool people. I know we barely got anything about her too, but she also seemed cool, just like freaking Kid Wicket. You look at it, she's the only one out of them whose main color scheme is red. Like, she's red and black. The rest of them are like blacks and dark blues with maybe some purples. Only two of them got like a touch of red, which is Kid Wicket with his eyes and Raven with her gems. This one that I drew, it was just a little pose that I decided to sketch out and color just so that I could have an actual physical representation of their ship, so I can get a look at how they look together as a couple. And I like how it came out. It's pretty cute, you know. And for those of you who may not be aware, I am an artist. I do have, of course, a YouTube channel for my art under AO's Designs. If you guys want to look at what I have over there, feel free to. And I can be found on several social media sites, of course. But back on hand, I think they look really cute, you guys. Like, it could work. Aesthetic wise, it could work. I mean, pink and green looks nice together, you know? And it could be pretty cute. And like, she already like has a non-human quality to her features with those big pink cat slit eyes she's got, you know. I just wanted to have you guys take a look at it. Take a nice, good look at it. It's just lovely. Lovely. I intend on doing more fan art for them. But for those of you who are just like, no, wrong Goth GF, don't do it, no, chillax. Here's a little fan art for you guys too. This one is one that I did for the Young Justice Kid Flash, just cause, you know, like I said before, I had really wanted Jinx to be in there, and to see how that version of Jinx, however they would have done her, would be with this version of Kid Flash, which never happened. Boo. So I did I guess it's a screenshot redraw, except it's more like a screenshot edit, because I did a screenshot of Kid Flash and Artemis, and then I drew over Artemis to replace her with Jinx. And this is the first time I ever tried doing something like that, and this was done a few years ago, I believe. A couple of years ago? Yeah, about at least 2 years ago. And it turned out alright. It was really weird though, like trying to draw her in the style of Young Justice while still making her look like herself. And then the fact that she has like no eyebrows like really screwed with me for a moment, because I'm like, wait, how do I make her face not look weird in this style when she has no eyebrows? But I think I managed to pull it off okay. She's still a little too bright in regards to coloring. I mean, it's obvious that, to me anyway, it's obvious she's not really a part of the scene, but otherwise, yeah, really not bad. I'll actually try doing this again some other time. I guess I'll end the video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this ramble. And once again, stay safe and just do your best. Bye, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe.